I go where I wanna go. Jean!
Scott!
Jean?
Scott!
I summon the Arctic winds!
No more mutants!
I summon the Arctic winds!
No more mutants!
I summon the Arctic winds!
No more mutants! There's always more gators in the bayou.
Don't get a
Bonus, Kevin. We have a bonus episode.
Bonus! Oh my goodness gracious.
So we've been meaning to get to this bonus, and we had some extra time because we're a little ahead on our other show. So to start off, we thought since this is a bonus, we had both just, instead of an expose, talk about our favorite Spider-Man villain. Who is your favorite villain and why, Kevin? Uh-oh, I see that smile. I think I know.
Oh, can you guess? Who can you guess? Probably think
I have a feeling you might say Ben Reilly.
No, actually.
Wow.
I do love me some Ben Reilly and some Spider clones and everything. I'm a big Spider-Man fan. For people who don't know, I probably know Spider-Man more than I do X-Men. Although,
wow,
in the comic universe too, I don't know as much as comic people, but still.
I feel like I didn't even know that about you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you can see. I'm going to turn, but I have my whole Spider-Man corner over there
Oh wow,
of stuff. So,
nice.
yeah. So Spider-Man's a big thing for me, and I cosplay him a lot. But my favorite Spider-Man villain, I think I'm going to surprise you, is Mysterio.
Wow. Okay, you did surprise me. Why Mysterio?
Because I'm a man of the theater.
Oh yes.
Yes, and he has no powers whatsoever, but he's super smart, and he uses all his special effects, and he was like a theater special effects person and movie special effects person, and so he's used all those to do villainry, in addition to like enhanced augmented suits, and he's a magician, and he's cool. It's really cool. And I like the vague, the mystery, the enigma of his ways, and that's something I've always bonded with. Something that's always under the surface that you try to figure out, and I like that. I like trying to understand people and their emotions and their feelings, and what are they thinking? And he has that eeriness, that intrigue, and it's great.
Interesting.
So, yeah, he's always super cool.
Did you know there was a recent comic book where Mysterio was disguising himself as a director so that way he could direct a movie that he wrote about himself, and Mary Jane was an actor in the movie, and she discovered it was him, but in figuring out that he was kind of doing something for good, she was secretly like helping him make this movie about Mysterio.
Mysterio is like a walk-in Inception movie, and that's what's super exciting. And because he has no powers, he's like Batman, but so much cooler than Batman. So
Yeah.
I know.
How did you like him in Far From Home?
I was pretty happy with it. I mean, the way that they showcased his powers was super cool and really visually fun. I love me. I can't remember his name now. What's his name?
Oh, the actor. I can't think of it now either. I always forget his name. Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal. Thank you. I love me some Jake Gyllenhaal. So much I love him. I forgot his name.
Yeah.
But he's always cute, and he's such a charismatic actor. And that's part of it too. He was playing both sides, and that was part of the Mysterio spiel. So I thought they did him really well.
Yeah, I agree, and I like the twist. It was a fun twist.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you had a guess, who would you say is my favorite Spider-Man villain? It might surprise you too.
Okay, well, I was gonna say Kraven because he's like a sexy hunter man, and he's always like naked.
I don't know. Okay, well, it is not Kraven, even though he's a sexy hunter man.
Okay.
Mine, and this has changed recently because I, just like I did with X-Men, I've been reading the Spider-Man comics from like Spider-Man #1. I'm currently in 1990, and I used to not care about this villain, and after reading this villain in the 80s, I was like, holy shit, this villain's so cool. It's Hobgoblin. I love
Oh.
Hobgoblin.
Oh.
And
And
I
you get
think
him in this episode, or yeah.
I know. It's kind of like the same reason I love Madeline Pryor. I think because Hobgoblin is such a fucking mess when you look into his history, because it was originally Roderick Kingsley was Hobgoblin, or supposed to be, and he was like this very like flamboyant fashion designer. So in my headcanon, Kevin, Roderick Kingsley is gay, even though I don't assume every fashion designer is, but Roderick Kingsley in my headcanon is. But then, like, because of different writers, it turned into such a mess where, like, one writer is like, no, Roderick's too obvious, but the first writer was like, but I gave him a twin brother to fake everybody out. And he's like, but the twin brother's only in one scene. I'm sure people forgot that. So then they like made Roderick be Phil Urich, who was like a friend of Peter Parker. But then it turned out he was under mind control, and it was somebody else. There's been like 4 Hobgoblins. It's such a mess, and I love it. I love messes.
Yeah. And you got Hobgoblin and Jackal involved in the whole Clone Saga of Spider-Man, and that's a whole other park of craziness.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting to the Clone Saga because I've never like read it from start to finish, but I heard it's really great to a certain point, and then Marvel was like, "It's doing so well, write more," and they were like, "But we're out of story," and they're like, "Cool, write more," and they had to keep like trying to write
Yeah.
story, and it turned into a mess.
Yeah. Ugh.
I read an abridged version of it that came out a few years ago that was supposedly like cleaned it up and had better like
Okay.
art, but we'll see.
I think I pretty much just read about it in my Spider-Man encyclopedia, and that
Yeah.
was like the great like Cliff Notes version. So
Well, cool. So we are on Spider-Man. This is season 2, episode 4 and 5. Number 4 is The Mutant Agenda. Number 5 is Mutant's Revenge. And this is all part... The Spider-Man cartoon was interesting because they had like whole arc seasons. So this was all part of the Neogenic Nightmare season 2. What kind of name? Neogenic Nightmare.
I mean, yeah, science.
Yeah. So before we get into it, since this is like the first time we're doing this show, what's your history with Spider-Man?
Oh, I watched Spider-Man all the time, like in the morning before school, because it always come on in the mornings. It probably on reruns, but I remember watching it, and it was the theme song came on. It was like that. Spider-Man and Sailor Moon were right on before school. But I could never finish Sailor Moon because that came on like right when we had to leave, so I only saw the beginning of Sailor Moon and then I had to leave. But Spider-Man was on before that, and yeah, it was. And I think I did like a rewatch, or I started a rewatch like last year, and I don't know if I finished it, but I know I got through like 1 and 2. So I'm like, oh yeah, I feel like I just watched this recently.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I've been wanting to do a Spider-Man rewatch really bad, but I want to get to 94 in the comics before I start it, so I have a reference for like everything that they reference.
Yeah.
So but that's really slow going. It's hard to read all these comics, Kevin.
It's hard. I don't know how you do so much more than I do with watching your things. Because I'm just like, how do you have time to watch that? How'd you see that? I feel like I just sit around being a bum and going to the gym and then podcast, and that's all I do. So, yeah.
Well, that's why I don't go to the gym. So I'm a fat bum who just watches stuff all the time.
Well, at least you are very story informed.
There you go. I also tried to like pair up, like if I'm going to watch this, I need to work on this, or I need to wash the dishes, or I need to do something while I'm watching. So that way, at least I'm doing something productive.
Yeah.
So I was the same. I used to watch Spider-Man. I believe over here it aired after school. I think it aired like with X-Men.
You see, you're probably thinking
really...
of the original one. I don't know if I watched it in the original. What were the dates of it?
It came out in 94. 94
Okay.
to 90
Okay.
something.
Because I do remember it sometimes being on after school, but I don't remember watching it after school as much. I must have been, maybe it was on a different channel. Maybe I was watching another channel. Maybe that's what it was.
Maybe. Yeah, because I remember Sailor Moon played before school, but that was on channel 13.
Yeah.
Which was,
Unless I'm just mixing up
UPN.
my times. I don't even know anymore.
Well, things air differently in different parts of the country, so we're probably both right. They just aired at the different times.
And you're right. You're right. I do remember the theme song after school too. Yeah, it's just very kind of Spider-Man.
I know.
Radio Spider-Man. Yeah,
radioactive Spider-Man. So I did some research for you.
Thank you.
So the Mutant Agenda aired September 30th, 1995, and Mutant's Revenge aired October 7th, 1995. So they were like a week apart. So if we were to look at where this takes place, at least in where it aired against X-Men, it aired on the same exact days as Proteus Part 1 and Proteus Part 2.
Yes.
So the only continuity I could really find is that these episodes take place sometime after season 2 of X-Men, because it's after the whole like Carly Cooper episodes. But I couldn't really figure out anything else to concrete it.
Yeah, I do remember the Proteus episodes too, because that's where that was like Xavier's son, and he ran away from Moira. He's like, let's go get him, and he's like glowing all over the place. That's what I remember about those episodes.
But it's not Xavier's son. I did that too before. It's actually Moira's son with another man.
But Xavier just comes to help. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay. See?
So I wanted to kind of set this up for people too, to kind of know like what was going on behind the scenes. So, and I think this is my own theory, but remember how we talked about how X-Men was under a strict like no Spider-Man in your episodes rule? Mm-hmm. I think I kind of figured out why. And that's because Spider-Man was actually made under Marvel Films animation. It was the first Marvel cartoon studio. This was their first show. So I imagine with the success of X-Men, that's when Marvel started putting together Spider-Man, and they're like, well, we want full control over Spider-Man, so you can't use him at all because we already have plans.
Okay.
So it was produced under Marvel Entertainment Group, Marvel Films Animation, and it was under a Tokyo Movie Shinsha, I believe, was doing the animation. So that's why the animation style is different, because a lot of the X-Men stuff was going through a company in the Philippines. So that's why everything's very different so far. Mm-hmm. And then these two episodes were written by John Semper and J.M. DeMatteis with a teleplay by Michael Edens. So you'll probably recognize the name Michael Edens. He worked on X-Men. So I imagine he kind of put together a rough outline of what the X-Men part was. And then the Spider-Man writers probably came in and like fit it for their need. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And directed by Bob Richardson.
Okay.
Cool. So we are all set to get into our episode. Are you excited?
Fun.
I'm excited.
Excited.
I peed.
Neurogenic nightmare. I might pee right now.
I'm still peeing right now. All right. Lightning crashes overhead as Spider-Man reflects on a meeting with Doc Connors. The good doctor, who is actually a lizard, warns Peter that he's changing, mutating even. Back in the present, Spidey looks for the one man who he feels can help him. The man people say is the greatest researcher on genetic mutations. Spider-Man lands on the ceiling of a manor and is instantly ensnared by a metal claw pulled inside. So this is set when Spider-Man is like mutating into a man spider. That's what this whole kind of season is.
Okay, I was trying to figure it out because I remember he had a thing with Morbius too, at one point, but I don't remember when that happens. And then there is that part where he's like, grows the other arms and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is like leading up to when he grows all the arms and everything.
Okay. Yeah.
So I know you know, and I know I've mentioned on other shows, but it always excites me, and I have to mention it. The voice of
tell everybody.
Spider-Man. The voice of
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Yeah. Hey, groovy chick. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. So Spider-Man is voiced by Christopher Daniel Barnes, who you may recognize his voice from Prince Eric in The Little Mermaid, or as Greg Brady in the Brady movies.
Yes. He also provided the voice in the Kingdom Hearts games. Kingdom Hearts 2, he did the voice as well.
And Prince Charming in the Cinderella sequels.
A Twist in Time. Cinderella
Yeah.
3 is like my favorite sequel ever. Oh my gosh.
It's so
and
good.
And you know what else? He played a kid named Kevin in a Golden Girls episode.
Stop it. That's a deep cut right there.
There you go. Even though I don't even know Golden Girls that well. I know. Sorry.
Well, you can't be perfect in every way.
Yeah, I'm not Mary Poppins. All right, scene 2. Inside the manor, the slightly drawn differently X-Men make their entrance. Drew Bali is excited to see Spider-Man. Rogue flirts, and Jean just stands there. Spider-Man easily dispatches the X-Men and kicks down the door to the room. He starts fleeing through the manor.
So I'll tell you right now, Catherine Disher, who voices Jean, was very busy at this point. So that's why there's like very limited Jean. Like, I think they couldn't even get her for the second episode. So that's why she just kind of stands there a lot of times.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about the X-Men look in Spider-Man as compared to in their own show?
I mean, it was definitely jarring, but it looked very smooth. They kind of looked like Barbies. Like almost like Gem and the Hologram style. If that makes sense.
They're prettier.
Yeah, they're prettier. And it's not. I don't say it's better or worse, but it is different and it's not bad. So I mean, I enjoy them. Beast kind of looks like a gargoyle to me.
He does. He's the only one that looks worse.
Yeah.
He's not as lovable looking.
No, he looks a little more angry. But everybody else looks pretty good to me. So
I think for me, the ones that look better are Rogue and Gambit, because they like soften the color on Gambit's like hood thing to that blue.
Yeah.
And Rogue just looks smoother to me, but the rest are pretty similar.
Yeah. I mean, Wolverine and Cyclops are pretty much. I don't know what else you can change in them, really. So
Yeah.
maybe a
Except
little
for
bit cleaner lines.
Did you notice Cyclops' undies were blue though? They weren't yellow.
Oh, you're right. And his blasts are pink instead of red.
Oh yeah, you're right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But those aren't his blasts. Those are portals that open up to another dimension.
Yeah, that. Okay.
So I was telling Kevin just before we started, these episodes reference so much. So I had to read like 5 comics before just to like refresh myself. So this beginning scene, where do I start? This is mostly taken from X-Men 35, when Spider-Man first meets the X-Men way back in the 60s, when it was the 5 original teammates. They like fought around the premise. Like, it was a weird comic. Spider-Man accidentally happens upon the lawn of the Xavier mansion, and the X-Men come and fight him before they realize that he's like good. So, but they don't go through the danger room and all that. It's mostly outside, but this was meant to kind of mirror that first meeting.
Gotcha. Which is why the danger room is outside.
Yeah, probably. You're right.
Yeah.
And the reason why I hesitated is this is actually, the Mutant Agenda is actually a 3-part comic book. And one of the biggest changes they made for the episodes is in the comic, it's really just Spider-Man and Beast for most of it. So anything with the rest of the X-Men or Wolverine is like added.
Okay.
But we'll talk about that more as we go.
Yeah.
All right. Spider-Man ends up in the Danger Room. Gambit reflects that He was practicing earlier to a Deadly Sentinels little track, and he left it on. Jean makes a face at Cyclops. Oh? Notice how she doesn't talk? Meanwhile, Spider-Man is attacked by Sentinels. He webs them, but they easily break free. Storm comes to Spidey's rescue. The X-Men go into battle with the Sentinels. Cyclops sends Jean to turn off the program. Wolverine wants to pick a fight with Spidey, but Professor X breaks it up and asks Spidey why he's here.
Yeah.
Did you like when Storm did her whole little like lightning, blah blah blah, and Spider-Man said power of web shooters, get real sticky.
I was like, I want to be like her.
Yeah, I want to get
cute.
sticky with Spider-Man. I don't know about you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've done those. I've done those scenes. It's fine. Anyway. Yeah. It's like OnlyFans.com/that naked nerd.
I love
it. Okay. But yeah, fun. Scene 4. The X-Men gather to hear Spider-Man's story. He tells Xavier he wants to be cured. Xavier explains that he's not here to cure mutants, but instead help them cope with their powers. Spider-Man says he doesn't want to be a freak and leaves, but discreetly out the window.
If anybody gets that reference, prop to you, because that's like the original Adam West Batman movie reference. But let us leave discreetly, Robin, but out the window.
I think we talked about it earlier in this podcast too. I forget when.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah.
What did you think of Spidey's little outburst, like saying he doesn't want to be a freak?
Rude.
Yeah.
Just rude.
I mean, I get that like he's scared because he's changing, but it's rude. It's a rude thing.
Yeah. You got some learning to do, young Peter Parker Grasshopper.
Young Spider. Yeah, it sets up a growth path for him, though. So I like that they added it in there. It makes us like feel something towards him.
Yeah.
All right, Beast and Wolverine go to follow Spider-Man. Beast feels for Spider and wants to help. Wolverine doesn't want to help. Spider-Man ain't even a mutant. Beast says he knows someone at the Brand Corporation who can help. Beast goes to find him, leaving a confused Wolverine behind. So I do like this setup because I feel we don't always look at both sides of the spectrum. But in this case, we have a mutant who's kind of like against humans and a human against mutants in a way. We get to see kind of both sides. Mm-hmm. Like Wolverine's like, they're not doing anything for us. And Spider's like, I don't want to be a freak like them. So I like that. Right. I like that setup.
And none of them, or neither of them are like extreme in their sentiment. They're more of a realistic dichotomy. Like people do have certain feelings sometimes over the other, but they don't always go and be active against it. So this is just like a nice subtle feelings of each side.
Yeah, exactly. I like that.
Yeah. All right. Meanwhile, a limo drives through a dark and stormy part of town. A man calling himself Landon brings in a suitcase to the Hobgoblin. He's paying Hobby to not... Oh, okay, I get it. He's paying Hobby, as in Hobgoblin, to not release his secrets to the Kingpin. Landon quickly gives the suitcase and hightails it. The suitcase contains a bomb! Landon sets it off as he drives away, but he doesn't kill Hobgoblin. It just leaves him angrier. Oh my gosh! This was Stark, wasn't it?
It was what?
Stark from Tron.
Oh, yes. Good job.
I'm like, I know this voice.
Yeah, his name is Dave Warner. I forgot he was Cirque. You're right. I remember him mostly from these movies called Waxworks, where it's like the wax museum like comes to life.
Oh my gosh, I do remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, I never really watched it, but I remember seeing that. That's crazy.
They're like great bad movies. Like they're good for being bad, but they're good at the same time.
Yeah.
80s horror. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. But yeah, we got our Tron guy here.
Yeah. Did you recognize Hobgoblin's voice?
I didn't think about it, but I know I've heard it before. It says right here, but yeah, I get it. Okay.
It's Mark Hamill. I fucking love Mark Hamill. So yeah, he did the voice of Joker. So if you know his Joker voice, it's very similar to his Hobgoblin voice. Yeah. So I just thought that's cool. I love him. I had this weird like obsession with him when I was young because he was Luke Skywalker. Like I try to go on a bender and watch the other movies he did, but they're not actually any good, which is why Mark Hamill's not like an actor anymore, because he knows he's not a good actor, but he knows he's a great voice actor. So that's why he went more of that path.
He's gonna be that new movie coming out though. What was that new movie coming out?
I don't remember.
I just saw a trailer for it when I went to see Renfield. I saw a trailer. And it's kind of a raunchy movie, but he's in that, and it's a live action Mark Hamill swearing around.
Wow. Yeah, I feel like he's come back around to where he's more confident in his live acting again. So I like that because he was also in the Kingsman.
Okay.
The first one. Really quick. But this is also part of why I love Hobgoblin Kevin, because he's very smart and tricky. And like, for some reason, I kind of like that he's just kind of like, fuck it. I'm just in it for the money. Like, I'll do whatever I need. I don't care. I just want money.
Right. I was like, good, bad. I'm the guy with the fight.
Yeah. So this is where we get another major drift away from the comics. Kingpin's not in the comics. He's not in it at all. They just put him in as a side plot to make season 2 more cohesive, since he's like the big bad against Spider-Man in the show.
Sure.
So it makes sense. Mm-hmm. All right. As Landon is shepherded away, his phone rings. It's Kingpin. He's keeping track of Landon and wants him back now. Landon angrily hangs up. Kingpin reveals to his associate Smythe that he can tolerate some rudeness as long as Landon comes through, and he's able to create an army of genetically altered mutants that only Kingpin can control. Smythe expresses his distrust of Landon. I don't trust that guy. So yeah, this plot wasn't in the comic either, since Kingpin wasn't.
Right. But he's involved now. Kind of.
And like Smythe, Alistair Smythe, I'm fascinated with him because Smythe's dad made the first Spider Slayer in the comics. He eventually dies because he's fucking old. And Smythe shows up later, but he's like this overweight, slovenly, like gross guy. And then at some point, he gets genetically altered into the Smythe we know from the show. And I'm like, I want to see that Smythe.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so it must happen within the next 4 years, because I'm at 1990 and he's not there yet.
See? Okay. Landon's limo lumbers into the Brand Corporation gates. Landon's associate, Miss Blonde Lady. Does she even have a name? I don't think she does.
Later on in the part 2, she's called Genevieve.
Okay. Ooh, Genevieve. I love it. All right. Anyway, Miss Blonde Lady asks if it's really the best time to unveil their research. Landon says it's the best way to keep the backers at bay by showing their breakthrough data.
Yes. And Miss Blonde Lady is also not in the comic form of this.
Okay.
But more on that later.
Okay.
All right. Beast along through the trees on his way to catch up with Spidey. He catches up and tells Spidey he wants to help. Spidey says, I'm tired of you X people, and excuse me. Get it? And swings away.
Excuse me?
Excuse me? Beast follows. Beast tells Spidey about Herbert Landon and the Brand Corporation. He says they can help. Unbeknownst to our heroes, they're being watched by soldiers. As they watch, they discuss if Spidey is a mutant or not. Before they agree, I guess it doesn't really matter because it's fucking Hank McCoy, the Beast, right there. So we'll just get him. So down below, Spidey dismisses Beast's help and takes off. Did you notice the soldier's name? I think this is a wink, wink, nod, nod.
I did. I thought for sure it said Lewald. I thought it said Lewald, like directly Lewald.
Lewald is the name, which of course Eric and Julie Lewald are the showrunners of X-Men. So this is cute.
I was like, Beast, now alone, is attacked by the soldiers. He is able to use them as a platform until they shoot him down. Together, the men are able to trap Beast in a net. They call their boss to let them know they took down a mutant. Yes. I gotta say, though, I really liked the scene before with Spider-Man. I thought it was a really nice... Because Beast was super just like, no one needs to be alone. If we all just learn to rely on people who are here to help us, we would all be better. But no, he's not listening.
Yeah, Beast is like going for it this episode. Like he's a really good character.
Yeah.
All right. Meanwhile, Spidey checks in on MJ. He longs to be with her. Next, Peter goes to check on Aunt May. He longs to be... Oh, no, sorry. He sees a picture of Uncle Ben, and he has a flashback of fishing with Ben. Ben tells Peter he can do anything as long as he doesn't give up. Peter, now a Spider-Man again, feels empowered. So, where we are in the comic version of this, Spider-Man is already married to MJ, and she already knows that he's Peter, so... This was just for the show. They adapted it this way.
Because they didn't get that far in the show. They're like, I guess.
No.
He has to sit there. Elsewhere, Jubilee and Cyclops are testing the Blackbird. Wolverine calls in to report Beast didn't come home last night. My bed was empty and everything. They agree to look for him. Alone in the control room, Jean comes in to ask Logan why he's so worried about Beast. Wolverine says it's because Beast has been acting weird. Jean tells him everyone has pain. Effie, we all got pain! And maybe Beast is triggered by something.
I thought this was weird with Jean, because she's like, basically like, why do you care so much? And Wolverine's like, he didn't come home last night. Like, we don't know where he is. Shouldn't we be worried?
It's like random. Like, he doesn't care this much about people. I mean, Wolverine does, but he's not that observant about people in the X-Mansion. Like, he would just be off doing his own thing.
And I feel like Jean is the one who's always worried about people. This should have been like the other way around, actually.
Yeah.
Later, Wolverine goes out alone to search for Beast. He smells that Beast and Spidey were together until a trap was sprung. He thinks it was Spidey and seeks revenge. Bub.
All right. 14's a paragraph. All right. Yeah. Meanwhile, at the Brand conference, Peter is discussing the conference with bitch Cecily. She says, oh my gosh. She says she hopes those mutant freaks won't come to the show. Peter tells her, I'm surprised at you. And she calls him a mutant lover, like it's a bad thing. I'm like, yeah, I'm a mutant lover, bitch. Get used to it. Yeah. So he ditches the bitch. Inside the conference, Landon speaks. He unveils his research on DNA. Mutant DNA and mutations. He announces that he's found a way to manipulate mutant DNA. Just then, Peter's spider sense tingles. I love though too. He was like, "What?" Like this, watching, like, "Oh, this is so interesting." Yeah. I love his speech.
I'm so enwrapped in your talk.
This is amazing. And then his spider sense goes off. He's like, "Oh, Redmond is getting good."
Motherfucker.
Yeah, too funny. But it's Hobgoblin. Peter switches to Spidey and they lock heads in battle. Hobgoblin gives up on kidnapping Landon and instead bombs the ceiling. Spidey quickly webs the ceiling together, saving the crowd as Hobgoblin escapes. Something momentarily has the ceiling together holds the ceiling together long enough for Spidey to escape as well. And I love this too, because like bitch lady's like, aren't you going to help him? He saved your life. She's like, I got nothing to do with this. I'm out of here. And she's like, oh, what do I do?
What'd I do? All right. Spidey gives chase to Hobgoblin, expecting him to go after Landon. At the same time, Beast wakes up in an electronic cell. Landon unveils that he knows Beast is Hank McCoy. The two had worked together in the past. Landon tells Beast he aims to use Beast's own research to cure mutants once and for all. He tells Beast that he gets to be the first test subject. So, I understand why this is a kid's show and it's written this way, but like the comic went a wildly different way on this, which I thought was really interesting. Landon was friends with Hank, and he refuses to believe that his friend Hank was a mutant. So in his mind, Hank did not turn into the Beast. The Beast killed Hank.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why he hates Beast so much, because he killed his friend Hank.
Yeah. Ugh.
The only problem with this is Beast has really big hands and feet. So accepting that he's a normal person would be pretty hard.
Yeah.
But what do you think about that? The fact that he wanted revenge rather than believe that Hank turned into or is a mutant?
I mean, I guess it's in a way it's darker because he is fully aware that his friend is a mutant, or at least the research that he was using, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to kill you anyway. Like, that's like real sinister. Like, that's a corrupt person. That's like, I don't care.
True. I guess you're right. Yeah, because so you're saying in the cartoon, knowing that Beast is Hank, knowing that they were friends, but still wanting to kill him is darker?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. It is.
So, And he like takes joy in it, and that's what's really startling to me. It's not like I'm doing this for the good of mankind or whatever. He's just doing it because he's an asshole who wants to kill mutants. And the fact that he had a personal connection with someone, like that's makes me want to punch you in the face. Like that's so rude and evil. It's not right. Outside, Spidey's Peter Tingle. Oh my Peter Tingle. Yes, that's a beautiful callback. Thank you. To the movie, if people don't know, it's from the movie. Okay. Goes off. It's Hobgoblin. Spidey knocks Hobby off of his glider and nabs him. Spidey demands to know why Hobby is after Landon. Hobby tells him he's blackmailing Landon. He knows the truth about Landon's research. Just then, Wolverine shows up. He begins a fight with Spidey to find out where Beast is. He's like, you're the only one who knew Beast was coming here. And so what did you do with him? Hobby takes the opportunity to get on his glider and kill two birds with one pumpkin bomb. To be continued.
So you're going to find, especially in part 2, there's so many like twists and turns and things going on that I actually at one point was like, I don't even know how to write this anymore because so much is happening. There's like so much action in so little time.
Yeah.
So that's why I resorted to lots of hobbies and Spideys and Wolvies.
Like, I just got to get it in there. Yeah.
Yeah. So this scene right here with Spider-Man vs. Wolverine is actually based on a comic. The comic is called Spider-Man vs. Wolverine. So yeah, this was their way again of like, I actually really like this. I feel like this is kind of what the Marvel movies do. Like the stuff they add is at least based in something. So those of us who are the fans can be like, oh, this isn't how the story went, but that's cool that they like referenced this thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so that's the end of part 1. We'll get straight into part 2 before we do our wrap up.
Okay.
So Hobby throws a pumpkin bomb at a fighting Wolverine and Spidey. Spidey tries to redirect the fight to Hobgoblin, but Wolverine isn't having it. Ooh. Spidey turns his attention to Hobby, webbing up a pumpkin, and he webs a pumpkin bomb to Hobby's hand. Hobby leaves the fight as Wolverine continues his attack against Spider-Man. Oof. A lot going on.
Oof. Okay. Fighting. Hobgoblin smashes the camera, setting off an alarm. Landon sees Wolvie and Spidey fighting and orders missiles to be fired at them. Spidey's Peter Tingle goes off, alerting him to the missiles. He is able to jump to safety and get Wolverine to safety as well. Spidey and Wolverine flirt until Hobby shows up and uses the distraction to go after Landon. Wolverine chooses to believe Spidey, but only if they stick close together with his Spidey fluid. They go off to Landon. They go off to find Landon and Beast. There you go.
Yay. Yeah, so Wolverine's basically, I still don't trust you, but I'll believe you. But if you piss me off, then I'm going to put my claws up your ass.
Yeah, it's on like Donkey Kong. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Back in this facility, a still very captured Beast sits patiently watching as Landon yells at everyone. When Landon leaves, Beast asks a bitchy blonde woman why she's helping him. She tells him it's for a good cause, to help mutants stop suffering. Bitchy blonde sets off a flashback in Beast's mind. He remembers working in the lab to try to cure his mutation. He tells bitchy blonde it's his darkest secret that he sought a cure. Beast realizes bitchy blonde cares a little too much about hating mutants. Maybe there's something else going on here. Did you notice any issues with this scene?
I didn't. Nothing I could think of.
I had to recall this, but when it shows Hank working in the lab to cure his mutation, he's a regular person. He doesn't have like the big hands and feet. So I don't know what he was trying to cure if he didn't have a mutation.
Yeah, that's true. I'm just a smart guy. I don't want to be a smart guy anymore. I want to be Stefan.
Yeah. So this goes with our friend of the pod who wrote in saying, like, will we talk about the difference in Beast's origin? This is like the difference. Because as we've seen in the flashbacks in X-Men, he already had big hands and feet. So where'd they go?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can't remember exactly when. There is another scene really quick in this episode where there's a picture of Beast as an Avenger. So apparently that's happened too already.
Okay.
Yeah, because in the comics, Beast leaves the X-Men when like Wolverine, Storm, and everybody shows up. He leaves for a little while. And that's when he does his experiment, turns into the Blue Furry Beast, and then he joins the Avengers as Blue Furry Beast before he comes back to X-Men.
Okay. And like, I was this lady, evil blonde bitch lady. I was like, her reasonings were so stupid. She was like, I hate mutants. Mutants are freaks. Like, that's all you got? Like, that's why you hate them so much? Because that's it.
Yeah, and I feel like she's very, like, a lot of Republicans today are with transgender people. They're like, mutants are suffering. They're hurting themselves. Like, we need to help them. But it's like, you are so disconnected from mutants or some people from transgendered people that, like, you have no idea how they feel and what's actually hurting them. So I thought that was an interesting plur.
Exactly. All right, 20. In another part of the facility, two guards walk their route. Wolverine comes crashing down on them with Spidey in tow. Wolverine smells more guards. I've smelled men, so many men. The two easily dispatch them and continue looking for Beast and Landon.
I hope you never get tired of having to say easily dispatch them.
Oh no.
Okay. Elsewhere, Hobgoblin catches a look-see of Spidey and Wolverine easily dispatching guards on a monitor. He's excited they made their way to the party to make a distraction for him. He finds the aptly labeled Mutant genetic research computer and begins downloading secrets. Hobgoblin sets a virus into the computer and bounces. It's basically like Nedry's virus in Jurassic Park, where it's like a face of like Goblin going,
Yeah, yeah.
Kevin,
Shawn.
how would you like a 90s moment?
Man.
You got mail. 90s moments.
Oh, good 90s moment. I'm so excited.
So first off, the 3D effects of Hobgoblin's little virus, but also the fact that he puts it on a CD-ROM.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
I was
very
actually quite
90s.
surprised to see the CG. I'm like, oh, I guess it is about that time, but they're mixing it with the animation.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because I think I got my first CD actually in '95. I think I was
that
like
sounds about
10
right.
or 11. Yeah.
I had Encyclopedia Britannica on CD-ROM.
Oh,
That's how I did all my research papers on Teddy Roosevelt and stuff.
how cute! I want to see little
Yeah.
Kevin doing little research.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why I couldn't use the internet, but I had my CD-ROM research.
Yeah. I don't think I had the internet yet. No, yeah, my parents did. We had a family computer.
Yeah, dial-up though.
Yeah. I did love this line from Hobgoblin where he's like, "I'm such a bad hacker. Bad, 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 bad."
Cute. It's great. It's great.
Yeah, he's great. I love him in this.
Wolverine and Spidey continue their hunt for Landon. The same guards run at them in the same animation. They take them down againly and continue on.
Made up words are fun.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, yeah. Two guards pursue them, but Spidey sets a trap and handles them.
Oh,
Fondles them. Wolverine smells the way to Beast.
back in the main lab, Landon and bitchy blonde Genevieve, we finally get her name, prepare the tank for Beast. Just then, Landon gets a call from Luwald. Wolvie and Spidey are on their way.
Ah, speaking of Spidey and Wolvie, yeah, that Wolverine has led them to a dead end. Wolverine decides to make them an exit, but with his claws.
Rawr.
Rar, herg, rar.
Grr, arg. In the lab, Genevieve apologizes to Hank as the experiment is readied. Back in the hall, yeah, it's weird because she's so like, "I'm sorry we're doing this to you, but it's to help you." So she's very sympathetic, but not at the same time.
Right, she's like, I'm just gonna stand here and not let him kill you. Okay.
Yeah. Back in the hall, Wolverine completes his door as another door lands on Spidey. Spidey breaks free and the two confront Landon together. Wolverine jumps to free Beast, but he is electrocuted by the cage. This part was funny. What was he expecting to do jumping into the cage?
I can get through there because reasons.
because gravity.
Yeah.
Beast is able to catch an unconscious Wolverine before he lands in the anti-mutant goo. Just then, Spidey enters the party. You know what I just realized this reminds me of?
What?
Oh my god, it's Chip! Roger Rabbit.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Ooh, that green anti-tune liquid Scary.
Yeah.
And it took him way too long to turn off that hose. They're just sitting there hanging on there. And it's going to hit them. And he's like, look, just get to it. Why is it? And then it goes the other way. And then the other way. Oh, my goodness. Anyway.
Were you traumatized by that movie as a child?
Maybe a little bit. And Christopher Lloyd was scary. His
He
little
was
dark
terrifying.
eyes and his little albino hairs. And, I don't like it.
You know what's funny is as a kid, it took a lot for me to connect that two of my favorite roles in two different franchises were the same person.
Yeah.
So one of them was Christopher Lloyd, like as Doc Brown and as Judge. Is it Judge Doom? Judge
Something like that.
Yeah. So realizing they were the same person, I was like, what? The other one was Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne and Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice. That just blew my little mind.
Right. And he's a Spider-Man villain, Vulture. Back to Spider-Man.
Back to Spider-Man. We're not here to talk about Michael Keaton. We're here to talk about Spider-Man.
All right. Oh, me.
26.
Okay.
Yeah.
Landon pushes the lever to drop the cage, but Spidey is able to stop it. Just then, Hobgoblin joins the party. Landon starts firing on him. One of Landon's shots hits Beast's cage. Spidey catches it just in time. Beast is having trouble holding Beast. Wait.
Beast. Oh, it's Wolverine.
Okay, there we go. I'm like,
Yeah.
interesting. I mean, I hold myself a lot too, but that's in a different way. Wolverine is having trouble holding Beast and Spidey. Can't hold the cage.
Beast is having trouble holding Wolverine.
Okay, there we go. Okay. Okay, there we go. Beast is having trouble holding Wolverine and Spidey can't hold the cage. It's precarious at best. What a dangerous predicament we're all in together.
Right? So I'm trying to remember. Oh, yeah. In the comic, Spidey and Beast are in the same cage, and the cage gets hit on the side. So they're like slipping, and Spidey webs Beast and is able to hold him. But in doing so, he's not able to save Landon from going into the dip. So
Okay.
it's similar. It's similar-ish.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Luwald calls in to Kingpin to report on the situation. Kingpin is only concerned about his mutant army. Luwald tells him it probably was going to happen anyway. Kingpin directs his men to pull the fuck out. Smythe plays the told you so game. Told you so, told you so, told you so.
Back in the lab, Hobby shows Landon he has the last remnants of his work in hand and asks for more money. Landon freaks the fuck out and starts shooting at him. How dare you ask for money? It's my money, not yours. He shoots Hobgoblin's glider, knocking it into the cage. Wolverine almost falls, but he's able to grab the edge of the cage.
Yay. All right. Hobby's glider gets stuck. Landon takes the opportunity to get his data back. Hobby escapes and throws the disc in the vat of chemicals. Landon follows it in. Genevieve screams uselessly. Hobby is about to throw a bomb at Spidey when Genevieve shoots at him. Hobgoblin makes his escape. Wolverine is able to swing the cage to safety, freeing up Spidey.
There's so much action in this scene.
See, that's what I mean, and I think that was the scene where I was like, I don't even know what to write anymore. There's so much going on.
Yeah. Crazy. All right. Landon comes out. Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Landon comes up out of the goo and mutates. Genevieve is desperate to save him. Landon starts absorbing energy. Genevieve spills the tea that Hank started the research on the cure. Landon escapes with Genevieve. It's very King Kong. Spidey reflects that mutating like Landon is his worst fear. Ugh! And this is where I'm like, is this Gexagio coming out?
It is. You're right. So
Oh.
it was interesting. In the comic, he turns more into like basically looking like the Thing. Like he's smaller, and he doesn't absorb power. It kind of ends at this point in the comic, but the show added a bigger ending.
The show must go on.
The show must go on. Thank you, Freddie Mercury. So Wolverine, Beast, and Spider-Man follow Landon into the city. He aims to absorb energy and continue to grow in power. John Beard reports on the incident on the news. The X-Men watch the news report as they fly into action. Do you remember John Beard from Fox 11 News?
I have no idea. No, I do not.
Oh, my parents used to watch it when I was growing up. So John Beard is a real person who is really on the news at this time, which means, Kevin, this leads us to our next 90s moment. John Beard.
Man.
You've got mail. 90s moments.
See, we watched Channel 12, not Fox, which was Channel 6.
Okay, that's fair. I do just have one question for you.
Okay.
Because John Beard is reporting on the news that Herbert Landon has mutated and he is rampaging on the city. But how did John Beard know that was Herbert Landon?
Yeah. Curious.
I'm starting to wonder if maybe John Beard was the one who wiped the X-Men's memory of Angel, and that's why nobody remembers him.
Right. And
Something else
Hobgoblin
going on.
is his informant.
Yeah. Boom.
Done.
Call Eric Lewald. We have a story.
All right. Where are we?
32.
32. All right. Here we go. All right. Landon continues to attack the city as Rogue enters the fray, but she's easily dispatched. The X-Men join Beast and Spidey on the ground. They are appraised of the situation untangle. They come up with a plan to deprive Landon of power. Luckily, all they need is on the Blackbird.
So I didn't even bother trying to recreate whatever their plan is. It was confusing. It was a lot of like scientist jargon, and I'm not that smart.
Yeah. But yeah. They're like, oh, Spider-Man has a scientific mind.
Wah.
It's like, well, he's like, you clearly look really good and are very smart. Lucky you.
Except for Beast says something about Spider-Man's ugly mask. I'm like, fuck you, Beast.
Yeah. Have you seen your ugly mug recently, Beast?
Right? Have you looked in the mirror, ugly? You got even uglier when you came on my show.
Yeah.
Back aboard the Blackbird, Spidey and the X-Men work to foil Landon. They get the Blackbird into position, and Storm, Jubilee, and Gambit distract Landon. Rogue ties him up. The Blackbird pulls Landon into the air, depriving him of a power source. Landon is too heavy, and the Blackbird is about to crash. In a shocking moment, Genevieve uses her power to stop Landon. Genevieve is telekinetic. The ambulance arrives and takes Landon to safety. Beast comforts Genevieve and tells her, "We'll get you the help you need." The X-Men all take turns hitting on Spider-Man, and Wolverine offers to take his load.
I mean, yeah, they've been at it for a while now, so
yeah,
the sexual tension has been rising.
It has. And this is also when it's revealed, I didn't write it, that Genevieve is the one who saved Spider-Man back in the first episode.
Yeah, where she's like, shouldn't we help him? Okay, well, but...
But it's funny in the comic, like nobody's there to help him. Like the ceiling literally collapses on him. Beast has to come in and like save him.
Yeah, all right. But yeah, she's like, yes, I am a mutant. I didn't want to be a mutant.
I'm disgusting.
Yes, I'm disabled. So, yeah, but that says something too. That's really sad that she. I mean, this is very true. Like a lot of people, like I think of like people who hate themselves, or they become bullies of gay people because they're really gay themselves, type of stuff. You know, it's a whole self hatred, evil, horrible thing. So
You know what's funny is Alan and I were just talking about this yesterday before I watched these episodes because we have a theory a certain someone is part of our community even though we don't want him. The fact that Ron DeSantis is going so hard on gay people in Florida,
Yeah.
I'm like, girl, you're taking one in the ass and you're ashamed of it. Like,
Yeah.
get over it.
yeah, it's so bad. I hate that guy.
Did
It's
you
like-
know he got married at Disney? He got married on Disney property.
Yeah, I did.
What the fuck?
What the fuck? It's like they said things that I don't agree with, so I'm gonna take them down.
Yeah, they support my secret lifestyle that I don't want anybody to know about.
I know. Oh my god. All right. Anyway, stupid. Anyway, 34.
Yes.
Spider-Man sees an article about I was gonna say Mariah Carey, Mariah Crawford
You're
in the
that gay.
paper. I guess. I don't know. Okay, goes to visit her. He tells her he needed to be reminded that everyone needs help sometimes.
Yeah. So that's obviously part of the ongoing story that he's getting the help he needs from his old friend.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's our episode. So these comics did something different that was kind of celebrated for better or worse, but it the Spider-Man the Mutant Agenda was a crossover between a comic book strip and like an actual comic. So like the collection that I read, it would be all in black and white like a comic strip, and then it would switch to a few frames of fully colored, and then comic strip, fully colored, so on. So it was kind of an experiment that Marvel did in 1994, and that story was a little like not great. But then they also did a 3-part comic story where they fleshed it out more, and that one was better. I liked it. And yeah, so even though the X-Men were in it, they were only in the very beginning with Beast, and after that it was just a Beast and Spidey romp. Nobody else. All right, shall we get into our rating, Kevin? What did you think of these episodes?
Oh, well, I'm going to extreme them because how rare and how wonderful that we got a crossover. That's super exciting. That in and of itself is amazing that Spider-Man and the X-Men can team up. Like, yeah, that's always going to get an extreme for me. And then the story was pretty decent and pretty fun, and you know goes over what's important about X-Men, and you know also the science of Spider-Man. So yeah, I'm all down.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to extreme it because I think they did justice to both our X-Men and to Spider-Man. We got like a Beast-centric villain in Herbert Landon. We got Hobgoblin as the Spider-Man villain. So like everybody had skin in the game, like, and the action, like we talked about. It had a lot of action going on, a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. And I think I already know, but who would you say is your MXP?
It's Beast. It's Beast. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, obvious reasons. He was the kind soul there for everybody. And that's typical of him in the show. He has concern for the mutant agenda, for humanity, for people's emotions on a personal level. Like, get it, Beast.
Yeah, Beast, I think, especially in these episodes, is such a great symbol of like, no matter how misunderstood or considered like ugly or not fitting in you are, like if you have compassion, then you can overcome a lot of that. Because Beast is like everybody's favorite mutant, and he's the one who saved the day and made everything happen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What would you say is the X factor or the spider factor?
The the Stixie factor. I don't know. Weird. Let's see. What would be the X factor? I would say that it has the internal struggle when you are confronted with something that you may not like about yourself or fear that something about you could change. And how do you work with that? And that's something that I think is a staple in the X genre, the X-Men genre.
Yeah. For me, I do really like your message. Mine's a little more surface level. I just love that we get like a Spider-Man Wolverine team up because they team up so much in the comics. They're like uneasy friends because they kind of bother each other because Spidey is so like flighty and jokey and not serious, and Wolverine is, but they're always like a buddy cop movie watching them work together. So I like that we at least kind of got to see that here a little bit. So I thought that was a fun little thing to add to the cartoons.
That is really fun. And you know what I even better is Spidey Pool, because that's where Spider-Man gets like a taste of his own medicine, where he has someone who's even more over the top and more jokey than him. And he has to be like the straight guy. He's like, oh my God, Deadpool, shut up. Like...
Well, and I love that in those, like, he has to be the straight guy in more ways than one because Deadpool's so obsessed with him on like a sexy level too.
It's so amazing. I love those comics, those bromance ones. Amazing.
Yeah, we need a movie with Tom Holland Spider-Man and with Ryan Reynolds Deadpool, like, to mirror those comics to see that bromance going on. Cool. So I'm glad we finally got to do these episodes. It felt like one of those things like, oh my gosh, life has been so busy for both of us. Are we ever going to get to this promise? And we did it. It
worked out. Kevin. It worked out because of all the scheduling with the other people's. And I guess had to do it early. So now we're early.
We're early. And I feel like we landed it at like the perfect – we landed it right in the perfect time because we're about at the point where it aired along with X-Men anyway. Mm-hmm. Like, it's hard because season 4 – I feel like out of all the seasons, season 4 of X-Men is the wonkiest when it comes to like things being released out of order. But we kind of got like in the middle of it, so we're good.
Cool. Yeah.
Cool. So where can people find you, girl?
Yeah. Okay. Cool. You can follow my personal Instagram, KGZ87, or you can follow Shawn and I on the podcast Words of the Witches, covering the charmed comic books. We are just in the beginning of season 10, and things go down this season. I cannot wait. So yeah, check it out.
Check it out. Yeah, it's good. And you can find me as we wrap up Once Upon a Cult. New episode just came out this week. And you can find me on Marvelous Galaxy of Disney. We have all your news for the week. Yeah.
Ha-ha!
And we'll see you this Friday for our next episode of Solving for X, One Man's Worth. Kevin, we're finally there.
Oh, grams. I mean, goodness.
Bye, sexy X's.
Bye!